let's get to today's hotline question, which is asking about the upcoming Captain America.
Hi, John. This is Anthony. I'm a big fan of the show. I saw the editorial video you made about Black Panther Wakanda Forever and why it got the results that it got. I was wondering if you think that we should expect a similar result for Captain America New World Order, given that it's another situation of the main star and character leaving the franchise and the side character taking over. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks.
All right. Thanks a lot for sending that in, Anthony. And yeah, so for those of you who don't know what Anthony's talking about, I made an editorial video just before Christmas, or before we took the Christmas break, asking the question was, is Black Panther Wakanda Forever a flop? Because that's the narrative that some people have been spreading around. And I kind of broke down why it really isn't by any definition. The only people who might call it a flop are people who say it's because it didn't meet their expectations. But I propose, and I think I proved fairly definitively, the problem was we set dumb expectations. The movie actually did quite well. But in that video, one of the things that I point out was that while there's not a lot of examples in Hollywood history of a sequel or follow-up film in a franchise removing both the main actor and the main character. We've seen the main actor taken out sometimes, but then recast. That's different. But very few examples of when a sequel or follow-up film removes the main actor and the main character out. There were only a couple examples, and we showed in that video that every time Hollywood's tried to do that, the box office has dropped by 30, 40, or 50% every time. Every time. No exceptions. That's what happens. And of course, with Black Panther, you had a situation where, through nobody's fault, we did not have Chadwick Boseman, and they made the decision to take out the main character. You literally had Black Panther without Black Panther. Yeah. So it was idiotic to have any expectations. And I played a video clip of us from a year ago where I said, guys, no, Black Panther 2 is not going to make $1 billion. You can't take out the main actor and the main character and expect it to have the same results. If you did have those expectations, then the problem was you and us. The problem wasn't the movie. I think this movie making over $820 million, despite the fact that it lost its main actor and its main character, it is pretty impressive. And I followed up by saying Iron Man 3 made $1.2 billion at the box office. You think it would have made $1.2 billion at the box office if Robert Downey Jr. wasn't in it and Tony Stark, the character, wasn't in it? If Hap Hogan was the new Iron Man?
I mean, I would watch that.
I mean, yes, okay, yes. Granted, I would watch that. But do you think it would have made $1.2 billion? No chance in hell, to quote Vincent McMahon. No chance in hell. Okay, so Anthony raises an interesting question. We are heading into a somewhat similar situation with the new Captain America New World Order, which, of course, is not going to have Chris Evans, as far as we know, nor the character of Steve Rogers, as far as we know. You're instead going to be given a new actor taking over the lead in Anthony Mackie, who is terrific, by the way.
As far as we know.
As far as we know. Playing Sam Wilson, as far as we know, as the new Captain America, right? So, theoretically speaking, given the track record, can we expect that this new Captain America movie will struggle? Can it break even? Can it make the kind of money that Captain America, Winter Soldier, or Captain America Civil War did, that sort of thing? Or will it take a dip in the box office? There's a couple of points here that are different, though, than the Black Panther situation. Number one, they had, with this new Captain America, a transitional product in the sense of we had Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So we actually had a piece of content that, prior to the new Captain America movie, set up a transition of this new character. Well, Sam's not a new character, but this new individual taking over the moniker transitions into that. And then we never got that with Black Panther, right? It was Chadwick Boseman was there, and then Chadwick Boseman was gone. Whereas with the Captain America situation, we have at the end of Endgame, Old Man Steve saying, "Oh, the shield's yours," and handing the shield over. And then we had Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So we have some transitional stuff, and that's something that things like, Bourne Legacy never had. That's something that Wakanda Forever never had. So I think that makes it a little bit of a different situation. It also presents a little bit of a drawback in the sense that people are now used to watching Falcon on TV. We just had a free series on Disney Plus that now we go to the movie theaters to watch them. I don't know. I'm going to say this. I do think, depending on what the budget is, I think Captain America, New World Order will struggle to hit the numbers that say Wakanda Forever did, at $820 million. I think it'll struggle to do that because of a couple of factors. One, people are kind of accustomed now to seeing Sam on TV. He's kind of defined as a Disney Plus character at this point. The second thing is, just certain characters are more popular than other characters, right? If you try to do, I don't know, like Ant-Man. I love Ant-Man. I love Scott Lang. I love Paul Rudd playing that character. But as much as I love Ant-Man and Paul Rudd playing that character, Ant-Man, Paul Rudd, Scott Lang is not as popular as Robert Downey Jr. and Tony Stark. Just not. So if you suddenly switched, even if you had transitional content for Scott Lang becoming the new Iron Man, then I think you're going to see a dip. I love Jeremy Renner. Get well soon, Jeremy. And I like the Hawkeye character a lot. But Jeremy Renner's Hawkeye is not as popular as, say, T'Challa and Black Panther. Yeah. So if suddenly you had a team called the Miraculous, and it was led by T'Challa, and then all of a sudden you had it without T'Challa and Hawkeye was leading it, I think you would see that next installment dip. While I think Sam is a terrific character in the MCU, is Sam as popular as Steve Rogers? I don't think he is, in as much that I don't think Scott is as popular as Tony, that I don't think Hawkeye is as popular as Black Panther, that I don't think Sam's as popular as Steve Rogers. So now that's not to say that if they stick with it and do a Captain America 5 and Captain America 6 with Sam, that we couldn't see the franchise then gain its own traction and start to skyrocket. It absolutely can. But I think right out of the gate, it's going to be a little bit of a struggle. So I think expectations need to be realistic. Guys, we want to thank a sponsor of this video, Mint Mobile. This holiday season, the best deal in wireless can only be found at Mint Mobile. Right now, when you switch to Mint Mobile and buy any 3-month plan, you get another 3 months for free. Mint Mobile lets you order and activate from home with eSIM while saving tons on phone plans starting at just $15 a month. You guys know I've been using Mint Mobile long before this holiday deal, and I have to say it is the perfect time to switch. I have absolutely loved using Mint Mobile, and like I've told you guys many times, I am now spending less than 1/3 of what I used to spend under one of the other major mobile carriers. And now with the whole buy 3 months, get 3 months free deal, it's even better. All of their plans come with unlimited talk and text, plus high-speed data delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Use your own phone with any Mint Mobile plan and switch easily and effortlessly with eSIM. Or if you need a new device, for a limited time, get 6 months of free service when you buy a select device and plan. So guys, for a limited time, buy any 3-month Mint Mobile plan and get 3 more months for free by going to mintmobile.com/Campea. That's mintmobile.com/Campea. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/Campea. Anyway, Chris, we've talked about the Black Panther situation. Do you think there could be a little bit of a struggle for the adjustment period of us getting a new Captain America with Sam Wilson on the big screen?
Sure. I mean, to your point, we had time with Steve, and we all love Steve. We love who he is. And what a wonderful adaptation from comic to screen with Chris Evans having that role. But that being said, you've got this amazing actor here, Anthony Mackie, a Juilliard graduate who is an actor's actor. If you give him some really great storylines, some really, really great scripts, he can do so much with it. He's an incredible, incredible performer. I kind of liken it to Doctor Who. We always kind of get hung up on who the new doctor is. And those first few episodes were like, this isn't right. I like the old one. This is bullshit. I hate this one. By the time they have to do their own whole regeneration, we miss them and we want them to stick around. Usually, not always. It's not always the case. But for the most part, we're usually really into whoever takes on the mantle. We just need time. we don't like change. Comic book fans in particular, we do not like
Online
change.
fans do not like change.
They do not like change. And so we just got to give it a little bit of breathing room and a little bit of grace, because I do think that this is a character who has so much potential. Just got to give it time, but I do agree we're going to see a little dip here.
One other factor that I forgot to mention is that not only have people now seen Sam as a Disney Plus character, but he has been seen as, up until this point, he has been a sidekick character. So it's going to, like you said, it's going to take time. Are they going to have that? And are fans going to give it the time to really let this character evolve from that position into a new position, right?
Well, at least for me, like the Steve Rogers story is just fascinating in itself, because he's not supposed to have that strength, right? He's supposed to be some scrawny kid with a lot of heart, right?
Right.
And that's something, just watching him go through what he's experiencing, it keeps me watching that character. But with Sam Wilson, I don't think I've gotten enough of his backstory where I can attach myself to, to this Captain America, the new Captain America. Like, we have another movie coming out that may not will have the secondary character lead it, right? With Armor Wars without Tony Stark.
Well, Armor Wars isn't Iron Man 4 though. It's Iron Wars, right? It's not the same franchise.
But see, I'm excited for that movie just because it has.
I am too, actually.
It has the armor, the Iron Man armor, the robot stuff. It's really cool. But this one is, I don't know. We'll see.
All right, guys. Question is for you. What do you think? I mean, given the past trends and that we've seen and the patterns that we've seen with stuff like this, do you think Captain America: New World Order will struggle to break even when it ultimately does come out? There are a few factors working against it. There are a few factors working for it. Maybe long term, it can actually, if Marvel has the patience with it, it can become its own standalone kind of successful franchise. How do you guys see it playing out right now? Jump down into the comment section below and let us know your thoughts.